Hey everyone, I'm Nido King, and it's time for some more quests. We've got a lot of them this time, 2 more story quests to do before we even get to the DLC. And our reward this time is going to be a rare folk. Actually, we don't know Urisk, that's a Keats-only folk. But we do know those two. So, yet again, we're going through Hellrealm and fighting a bunch of folks. But I believe they changed it up a little bit this time. At least nobody interrupts us on the way in. Just want to make sure of which karmas I still need to build up for the Hellrealm folks. Don't need to capture any more Ulcher or Uldir. And yeah, they've got different collections of folks in the rooms this time. We're fighting Fachan right away from the start of the level. Ah, immune to wind. I'll have to look for something else to defeat with Balewind. And just as a check, yes, they are indeed immune to water. I've already tested Destroy and Slash before. They are at least vulnerable to Charm, though, and there's Keg in action for you. She's got a bit of distance on her attack, not a wide area of effect, but it's good to keep your distance and charm things, because the only charm effects we've got right now are a small area around where Ellen is, and they take a while to go off. Keg at least fires right off. And here you can see the difficulty that I have with hitting a folk that's right up against a wall. And I kinda wish Balewind's attack would just go through enemies and hit whatever's behind them. But it stops as soon as it hits anything. Just like a real tornado. We got a bunch of these guys clumped together, so I'll pull out Rhyneck. Don't think I've really used it all that much. And it is very effective at covering a wide range. Oh, so purple dust over there. And I guess it doesn't really make sense to keep using Rhyneck when there's only one folk, but it's effective enough. More of a pain to switch back than it's worth. And I haven't seen these water crystals over here before. Don't remember how many purple purple dusts I've got. I still need 2 more. And there will be nothing better to build up with them than Shefro, finally. Hit 1 water crystal, and they all explode and give you nothing. There's a part of me that wonders whether maybe if you hit the right one, you'll get a reward, but I never did. And this way is actually a dead end. Now, I don't know whether that's whichever route you take first is a dead end, or if it's always that one, but it seems kind of weird that they would even bother to put folks in that room if you just can't go that way, period. And here's me thinking I'm fighting a room full of Balg Bulk, but it's actually 1 Balg Bulk and 2 Bathir. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. But when they're all clumped up like that, Balg Bulk's attack, or Balewind's attack is actually effective on all of them. So it's Scythe versus Scythe. Mine is just naturally going to be more effective. But expensive. It's one thing I don't like about Balewind. It's a pretty costly attack. I think all the Scythe attacks are a bit more than they're worth. Balg Bulk is still pretty good. And that looks like this room cleared out. Again, I don't know that you necessarily need to kill all the folks in each of these rooms. I could probably run past, but they're different groupings than we've fought in the past, so why not? And admittedly, while Rhynek isn't a combo attack, it can still hit the folks with multiple fists and take them down very quickly. So I am at least enjoying that aspect of it. And I think that's everything that we need for Balewind. Or no. Defeat 15 Brownie. Alright, certainly not going to happen in the rest of this quest. I just got a bit impatient. But we're finally at the watering hole. It's going to be time to fight the Ogtur and the Ulbir. Fortunately, we've got a couple of attacks that are going to be effective on them. Now, Balewind certainly has enough vertical reach to hit them. And I want to go with Garbera, because that's always been effective. And from here, it's pretty much just a matter of attacking them the same way I always do. Just keep whittling down their numbers until they run out. Although, if you're paying more attention than I did, you might have noticed more of them appearing. I really don't know that there is actually a good defense against that. But the game will eventually take pity on me. I mean, especially in a room like this where there's all these little obstacles here and there that you gotta work your way around. You can't really convince these guys to get into one group so you can attack them all together. I rather like the strategy of using Balewind when they're at a distance and then Garbera when they get up close. I think that ought to work pretty well, but it's taking a lot of damage. And bringing them down one at a time is not fast enough. Especially when I don't notice that their red ids have popped out. There we go. Now it actually tells me all you gotta do is kill them quickly enough before reinforcements arrive. And I'm already low enough on health, I'm getting health drops. This is not the way you bring them down quickly. Just in case you were confused. But I think that's going to do it pretty well. It's not really that difficult a quest, just a bit on the annoying side at the end. So we finally got our second rare folk, Alhazred. It's not a terrible folk, but it's not all that great either. As you can see, it's another one of those flying books, and it's still a thunder element attack. And I'm one green dust short of being able to build it up. Well, we'll get some use out of it anyway. One more regular quest to go. And it'll be another rare folk. Yeah, the way the gimmick for this quest plays out is going to be kind of weird. But of course, as always, we start at the beginning of Hellrealm, and have to make our way to where the Mandragora are. So I'll give Alhazred some use in this quest. At least so you can see what it does. I would speed this up, but it's not that long a video. So the path directly to the Mandragora is cut off. We're going to have to take the long way around. And here's Alhazred. Its attack is almost the same as Mabinogian's, but it doesn't spin. And it doesn't seem like it usually takes as long to go off. Like, maybe it's a sort of trap effect where it waits until there is a folk to get hit in the range that it's going to attack. Because I've never seen it miss. Mabinogian, on the other hand, will just kind of sit there for a few seconds, open up, spin, and if it hits something, it hits something. The worst part about Alhazred really is just the fact that it only seems to hit any given folk once. Even though the thunder stays there for a while, and Alhazred itself stays there a while so you can't summon another one until it disappears, the folk can be standing right in its electricity and not take any additional damage. So that's the purple dust, and I finally build up Shefro. And still am probably never actually going to use it. I mean, really, I think it's just a Kushi with a wider effect area, which takes a lot longer to go off, which means that most of the time it's not actually going to hit anything. So I've just got much better options for charm by this point. Keg is pretty good. Kushi is great. Kobli now probably has its uses. Again, no reward for all of the water crystals. There probably is some trick to them, but I don't know what it is, and I don't really care. Yeah. That was me forgetting that only wind attacks draw out the ids of these bats, even though you can just normally attack them. So I'll go ahead and kill it. I don't really need the extra experience right now. And now for more. Or not. It's just his baby brother. Whole lot of them, though. I just hate the way that tornado will stick on top of you until you're finished with the capture animation. Seems cheap to me, frankly. Yeah, see, the Balewind is just kind of standing inside the electric range, and once it's taken its hits, it doesn't take any more. So it seems like a better folk than Mabinogion, but I don't think that's really saying all that much. If I'm going to go for Thunder, Balgbulk is my go-to folk. That and Gaboy. I don't think I'm ever going to run out of usefulness for Gaboy. Yeah, don't need to capture any more of them, but I had to check. Because between hunting for the Cloak of Twilight, and then the fact that there are 3 scythe-wielding folks that are all pretty close to identical, it's hard to keep track of which ones I still need to build up, and what ways, and which ones I don't. So we're going for Mandragora here. Gotta get some attacks ready that'll be effective on them. Only surprise, there's Fahan guarding them. I'm rather amazed I managed to capture them without hitting the Mandragora along the way. It just seems too convenient that they're all sitting right there. Come down here, and there are some Kulbi now. No, it said capture the Mandragora within the time limit, but I don't see a timer anywhere. There's a Mandragora. Ah, and now the timer begins. Once you've captured the first one, you've got to capture the other 2 within a minute. And the trick is, which ones are they? This is the one point when being able to distinguish between Mandragora and Kulbi now is rather important. Because you don't want to waste your time killing all the Kulbi now at this point. Although, I do need to capture a couple more to build up a Karma. And if you've been paying closer attention than I did, you might have noticed that Mandragora drops green quartz. Very handy for grinding, and I didn't want to waste time, because I do need to actually finish this capture so I don't need to complete the quest again. It's hardly difficult. Wait, I thought Scarecrow wasn't coming back. Well, we got the rare folk Grindylow out of it anyway. Yet another familiar name to Harry Potter readers. And it's a wind element folk. Not too bad. We'll be seeing that in the grinding video and possibly afterward. In the meantime, I'll see you guys next time for the DLC quests.